Good evening, people, and welcome back to the White Rose Rivals podcast. Once again, we don't have a full house, unfortunately. People turning it in left, right, and centre. I myself have also turned it in some weeks as well, so I can't really throw shade anywhere. We've got both sides of the Steel City. We've got League One representation in Cossey, who's I think watching cricket.
No, I'm going to watch rugby, mate. I'm in between the Trafford Centre, which, honestly, every time I go to Trafford Centre, it never has what I want. It is garbage. Meadowall, I know you're Sheffield boys, aren't you? But Meadowall, I know they put Meadowall. Meadowall always delivers. The Trafford Centre never delivers. There's so much roundabouts. You're always stuck on that bridge. I hate that vertigo. Trafford Centre is shit. I hate it. I've come away from it.
Manchester's shit, full stop, man.
Yeah, they're throwing darts there tonight. Everyone will go getting on that tramp at darts. Oi. The thing is with that
shit, full stop. So that's one thing we can come together in and say Lancashire's shit. Do you know what I mean? That's one thing we can come together with.
The thing is, Joe, with that darts is like there'll be how many people? 8,000 in that arena at night, and no one will have a clue who's won tomorrow. I always think it's funny that way. Like,
what channel is this? What have I walked into?
They don't do. Where's your Cypriot darts though? You're missing out. It could be a gap market there, mate.
Tell you what, though, we're going to let you into a little secret here. Who do you support in rugby, Cossey?
Oh my word!
Go on.
Leeds.
Leeds, I know,
mate.
No, Huddersfield Giants.
Not the Huddersfield Giants.
No, oh mate, it's been like this for 30 years. I've been supporting since I was 1, but honestly, like it is. No, I had some March On Together before. It gets said because it's not a Leeds rugby song. March On Together mentions Billy Bremner and Ellen Road. Why the hell they sing it at rugby? I do not know, mate. And I know it's for the contention with a lot of Leeds fans.
I know a lot of my followers watch the Rhinos. I'd love for them one day to get a clip of you going,
mate. I don't think I've ever welcome back.
No, you won't be allowed in Huddersfield again.
No.
Leeds Rhinos for rugby, Huddersfield for football. He's going to tell us he's Lancashire for cricket, isn't he?
Yeah, sometimes I go to Sheffield Steelers and all that. I'm all about shop, mate. I'm like Florida. I spread all over the place, and that's on offer in Morrison's at one, like £1, £1.29 and that. Yeah, but it's out of date in a month, so watch out. If you get Florida now, it goes out of date quick. So get it spread quick, man.
Lurpak. I have to break the bank. But I get it, because my daughter goes mad if we don't have Lurpak, to be honest.
You're a Lurpak. That's posh, Dad. Ash, what are you? What's your spread? Oh, bloody hell.
Lighter. You're not going to watch me figure.
Exactly. What do they have in Cyprus? Do they have Lurpak?
Well,
I have Kerry Gold.
Nice.
Very nice.
You.
Mr. Maxim does there. Remember that thing on Max and Paddy where they're in and he's going, they've got chocolate. Les Cadbury's fingers when he's found the chocolate fingers.
Well, actually, I shop at, this is awful, isn't it? I shop at a British supermarket in Cyprus, which, I mean, it's terrible. But, you miss the home comforts. I can get my Henderson's relish. Anyway, we're missing the big story. I know Cossey's talking about the Trafford Centre, but Joe has a tattoo on his head.
Come on, Joe. Come on, bro.
No, it's that side.
No, of course it's not.
I'm joking.
No, that's where he's going to put promotion 2025 on the other side.
It fell off. It's back on after last week, Ash, but it fell off.
Yeah.
He's got one of those temporary tattoos. Next week it'll be up and on and that. You know what I mean? But yeah.
So what is that? What's the significance?
It's a mandala. However, a lot of people sent me the peacock emoji, and it actually looks like.
What did you say?
Mandela.
Mandala.
Mandala. Sorry, yeah. It's the Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like him.
Rodney. Wow, what a start to the show. We've discussed marketing, rugby league, tattoos, and yeah. Well, sorry, yeah. Wow, what a week. Ash, I mean, Al, if I'd have said to you, Millwall at home and Oxford away, 0 play, you'd have been, what?
I'd have hit you in the face.
And then your manager having a go at you. Yeah. It's a shocking Chris Wilder, that. Yeah, what's with everyone putting them? Is it like Action Men or something? I saw one of Wilder today and a set and that. What?
The AI.
Where's that come from? I don't get it. Everyone's got one now. Yeah. I saw that Wilder one. It's quite amusing, actually. But yeah.
I do
The
have some
chance here,
questions, though.
Yeah.
I do have some questions for Hal just on that, because I know, listen, Parker outers within this still is, but I did some wild takes online about Wilder playing again, having to go up front, saying lineup, was shit again, Wilder out, etc.
Joe, do me a favour, right? I think Cozzy's headphones are bleeding the sound through. You mute him for a second so I can hear you. There we go. Now I can hear you.
Is that better?
Yes, yes.
Do you want me to ask you again?
Yes, please ask that again. I couldn't hear any of that.
Okay. So within our fan base, there has been some Farker outers. Now, I never thought I would see the day that would be the case at Sheffield. However, over the last 24 to 48 hours on...
Yeah, Hal, pull him up on it.
I'm sorry, Joe. We're not letting that go.
Well, Sheffield United, yeah?
There we go. That's fine. Carry on.
Apologies. However, I've seen on Twitter a few people...
He's gone all Premier League already, hasn't he?
Yeah. You're just like all them, aren't they? Those plastic fans.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe.
It's all right. It's great. You do right to tell me. I've seen some takes of like Wilder calling out the fans, then he plays with the same lineup and we lose again. And some actually asking for Wilder's head. I think they're wild. But where's your head at with it? And here's a take for you as well. I did listen to something. Sorry, I know this is a lot of questions. Sheffield United have been getting away with results for a while. And is it now the chickens are coming home to roost?
I would actually use the Wednesday game as an example. Ash would probably agree if he'd watched it, but we didn't play well in that Wednesday game, and we still won. And actually,
I went. Did you go? I went.
Oh, it's kicking off.
Do you know what's funny? Actually, Ash, I did fly back to the UK. Anyway, So the focus actually is we've not been playing well, right? Our results are finally catching up to us. Now, it was about 15 people that had a go at the players after Oxford, and Wilder, for some reason, seemed to kind of hone in on that. And I think he was doing that to actually deflect from the performance by having a go at the fans. It's a unique tactic. I would often say it's a bad idea, but it was almost like he kept the same team for the Millwall game to spite them. And people might say that's nonsense. He's not going to do that. Well, Wilder changes his team every game, but he didn't for this one. And it's a fair question, Joe. Why didn't he? I think he wanted to prove a point. It massively backfired. We were terrible against Oxford, terrible against Millwall. And now I'm genuinely really worried that we are going to finish in a playoff position, and Sheffield United are dreadful in the playoffs.
I did a video earlier on predicting the running, and what I did say, Hal, the only team out of us three that will get through the playoffs is Burnley. I said, if us or Sheffield United drop into third, we won't do it. We will bottle it. I know you've got a terrible record. We have a terrible record. Just the way Burnley play, the way Parker plays, I could see them going and winning the playoffs. However, if either of us miss out, I think we won't go through, and you'll be looking at Coventry or Middlesbrough, whether. I don't know. Because you have a shocking record as well, right?
Have you guys ever won in the playoffs?
No.
Well, neither have we. So we've got the same record in the playoffs, basically.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. We're consistent.
Obviously, we win the odd semi-final, and but then it all falls apart.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to plenty of finals, but always mess up there. We'll see. I mean, I've got a horrible feeling that it's now going to be playoffs, and I'll have to travel back for that. And the really annoying thing is the date of the playoff final is when my entire family is flying out to Cyprus to come and see me, and obviously, I'll have to go back for the playoff final.
Was it that bad, that Oxford, or was it just Wilder exaggerating and that? Was it just a boo at the end of? Was it just a boo at the end of the game? Like, you get that now. I just think even if you're doing well, it's like you win, great, you lose, boo. Even if you're having a good season, was it just like that, or was it worse? Because you were making out like it was.
It were fans sort of leaning over like the advertising hoardings. The players were going down the tunnel, and some unpleasantness. But like I say, it was about 15 people. It really was, but maybe a small minority being vocal, which goes right into the ears because it's close, sounds bad. And he probably heard one or two choice things that he didn't like, and he chose to, despite, and this is the interesting thing, Wilder said that his press team told him not to bring it up, and he mentioned that. I was told not to say this, he started with, and then he still brought it up. It was an interesting tactic. It's massively backfired. It's not worked, and now some of the fans, like Joe said, are against him. I'm not. Massive Wilder fan.
No, of course not. Yeah. Do you know what? As well, when I was doing my prediction, that 2 points that Wilder's been telling them lads behind the dressing room that we've got 2 points, we're top of the league. You're going to miss out by 2 points.
No,
hilarious.
We're not. And even if
you know
we
what's
do,
going to happen? Wilder next season in Championship's
no,
going to sort Premier League badge on and say, "We won. We did go up, lads." So
well, he might get it as a tattoo on the side of his head, but
he'll be on the honours board.
Stop it! It'll be goal difference, even if it is. Do you know what I mean, or something like that? I can't even fathom. I can't handle it. I'll actually explode if we miss out by 2 points. I won't exist anymore. I'll just blow up.
What a difference a week makes, because obviously Sheffield United were top. I was worried the actual title of this show was "Are Leeds falling apart again?" Ash had his bookmark tweets ready with the Leeds crumble and stuff. And then, we drew against Luton, which, to be fair, I said was a good point. I remember we had that conversation, Hal, and I was saying going down there, because I said Oxford would be tough for you, and the fan base was still not happy. And I felt, you know what, Luton fighting for the lives, but then to follow it up and beat Middlesbrough.
4 points.
And we also had
fabulous.
Yeah, we also had 2 goals disallowed. I don't know if you caught that, folks, but we had 2 goals.
Oh, no, we haven't heard about that, Joe. No one's mentioned it at all.
It's been very quiet on social media.
Yeah.
But have you noticed,
I didn't know about that.
That Lino has now done it 3 times in 3 separate games. So, I mean, EFL's corrupt and all that sort of jazz.
I remember, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I live in a country where football historically is actually corrupt. And it's not corrupt in England and Wales, trust me.
You tell David Coote that. You tell David Coote that.
Joe, was it a comfortable win? I just don't rate Michael Carrick and Middlesbrough. I know they'll probably get up in playoffs now, but I think that every time I watch them, they're bang average, mate. It did surprise me that you won that.
It should have been 3-0. But they did also have some chances. Bergzorg missed a few and a few others. But, look, it should have been 3-0. There were 2 goals incorrectly chalked off that were miles onside. It's shocking. It's like the lino weren't really paying attention. And because the players put it in on the line, he's just gone, well, it must be offside. But he'd come from an onside position. But the thing is with Middlesbrough, and I said this in the preview, because they had won were unbeaten in 5. The 5 before that, they'd lost 5 on the spin. This is the Championship. I said it's probably more than likely now that Middlesbrough will then lose a few. And thankfully,
This is the Championship. 5 games to go. Actually, that question from Michael S. reads like a Basement Jaxx song. It's Joe, where's your head, tat, tat? Where's your head, tat? Look at it. Where's your head, tat? Yeah. It's subtle, isn't it?
Is it not warm in your house, Hal? Do you want to take your hat off? Or...
No, I don't want to take my hat off, Joe.
Okay.
You can get in
just warm, that's all, bro. Be careful now.
Get in the
careful.
sea. Get in the sea. Start walking until you are in the sea.
1-1, Joe. Great equaliser there, Joe.
Yeah, the back 96 minute at the back post. Bang.
No, there's plenty of
commentary.
Plenty of injury time, Joe. Plenty of injury time. And Hal's always got a late sub, don't you worry.
Oh, I know that. Don't I know that? Ash,
just me and you, Cozzy, that had a needle near his head in the last few weeks.
Oh, mate. I'd rather talk about all but football. Let's keep talking about heads and tattoos and stuff. But Joe, but it's unbelievable, isn't it? It's only, you're going about a week, but you drew that game and it like the world was ending. Everyone knew, but it's just one game, innit? And it's like, obviously, Blades have lost both, but again, it could all be changed on Saturday. But I noticed you put that tweet like we win his own games, but it's unbelievable how it swings. I love it. And Southampton have got 10 points out of 90. Points out of 90. You guys are like, we are going up. Do you really want it, man?
To be honest, mate, I do. Obviously, I do. Hal's not bothered now because they're in 3rd, but it's all about the Premier League, isn't it? You just hope that you can be one of them teams that can book the trend, because it does happen. I mean, let's be honest. Were you up with Villa at the same time? I think you were, Hal, weren't you?
Yes.
To be honest, Villa cheated, basically. The goal line technology.
Against
you know
us.
what I mean?
How could you not remember that we were at the same time as them?
Oh, yeah. God.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and they're playing against PSG last night in the Parc des Princes. You've got Forest on the cusp of. But what I will say for it is, the one common denominator is they've all cheated. Everton cheated to stay up. They get the new
Leicester
stadium.
cheated to get up, and look how well they did.
Well, this is the point, though. That season, they all got points deduction, apart from Leeds, because we're by the bottom. We're still in the Championship. So I think if you can cheat and stay up, the fines are that inconsequent. Easy for me to say, but you know what I meant. You just pay it off.
Back in the day when they went up, they were shocking.
Harrow cheated and we got relegated.
What's that? Sorry?
Harrow cheated and we got relegated. Selling the stadium to himself.
Talk to us, mate, about Wednesday, because obviously we haven't had you on. He's not. I don't know what the paying situation is right now at Wednesday, but what's going on, mate?
Our illustrious leader, Dave von Chansiri, he's been caught out by not paying the players and the staff last week. So there was a bit of a problem with his credit card or something. I don't know. He just couldn't be bothered. So he's had to dig a bit deep and pay a bit late. And I think it was in the local media was saying that if it was 1 day late, then we could be sanctioned for a 3-window embargo, I think the word is. So yeah, that's it. So it's all rosy. So a lot of Wednesday fans, probably 90. I'm not speaking for them all, obviously, but it's quite a hefty percentage of them now are calling for him to sell the club and leave Sheffield Wednesday. So,
what's the likelihood of that actually happening?
About 0%, knowing him. But then again, you wouldn't know, would you? I don't know. There's always the rumours and people in the know and all this sort of stuff that think that there's people in the background that are doing their due diligence and they want to make bids. But then you hear from the other side, and Chansiri is asking a ridiculous amount of money for Sheffield Wednesday, which that's his right as the owner. He wants to get as much money back as he can. He's ploughed enough into it. But it just...
He has ploughed a lot in. Ash, what do you think Sheffield Wednesday's worth? Like, what would you say is a fair price? The reason I ask, obviously, is because Sheffield United have recently been sold and we're obviously in the same city.
What's the going rate for a football club? I genuinely don't know.
60 odd million, maybe. I know it was about 80 odd million, something like that, was it, for Sheffield United? Something like that. So, obviously, I wouldn't know, but I would imagine he's asking for probably double what I'm 150 million or something daft like that, trying to get as much money back. But yeah, 60. The trouble is as well that obviously the club don't own the ground. It's Chansiri's third business or something like that. There's a business called Sheffield 3, I think it is, that owns the ground. So then you've got all that rigmarole to go through. But it's not the best time really for Sheffield Wednesday fans. Off field, should I say? On field, it's not too bad. Obviously, the rumours of the manager going to be leaving as well, which doesn't help. So it's getting towards, obviously, I don't know, 4 or 5 points off playoffs with a bit of a chance. Then we've lost to Hull and drew against Blackburn in midweek when we should have really beat them because they were awful. But then we were in second half. To being a bit of a damp squib end of the season type of thing with all the off field. I worry for you next season in terms of I could see you being in a relegation battle as wild as that sounds. I don't just because of who's going to come in and which coaches are going to be of sufficient level to get what Danny Rowe's getting out of this lot. And obviously, if you've got financial issues and stuff, it's so topsy-turvy, man. It's madness, isn't it? I mean, we've been there. Like, I think we've all had shit owners once upon a time. It's brutal, man. Yeah, I think you're right. And there's quite a lot of players that are out of contract as well. And you've seen that obviously January we needed 2 centre halves and didn't bring any in. One of the players we brought in, Cisco from Plymouth, from Toulouse, who was on loan at Plymouth at the start of the season, just hasn't really played and done anything. It's going to be another interesting summer at Sheffield Wednesday coming up, no doubt.
What's the feeling with like season cards? Because I mean, those fields are different things because they've put the prices up ridiculous. So bad seasons. A lot of people, my mates, not coming. They're not going to renew, and you hear this, and then it comes to renewal time, and they do. But I think there's going to be so many that don't come noticeable. But there's people looking at it and thinking, I'm sick of Chansiri, sick of the prices. If Roll goes, or is it just going to be like the usual? What happened is we'll just fuck out, take the don't go without floor of margarine and decent bread and we'll watch us football. Is that how it's just going to work? Or is the disenchantment?
Yeah, definitely. There is. I mean, our season tickets pre-thing have been on sale for about 4 months on and off. You know, he got his money in early with the early bird sale, and then they've been off sale. Then another tier, 50 quid more. Then they go off sale a week later and then come back on. It's ridiculous how he goes with the season tickets. But yeah, if you look online, there is people that have been going 20, 30, 40 years that have given up their season ticket because of the prices and just the sick of the owner as well. But then, no doubt, same as all your clubs, you've got the real hardcore people that go, and they're not really bothered what happens off the pitch. They go because it's their happy place. They go and see friends, family, mates, have a drink, the ritual and routine of it, and that's fair play to them. But yeah, there's quite a lot of people now that have given up the season ticket, not going to go, and not just that, just not going, or this season if they've got a season ticket. They're just not spending money at the club. They've just said, look, I'm not going to give the club any more money, or not the club. They perceive it to be the owner. So it is, yeah, it's getting, in the last week, it's got real bad, really.
Ash, Matty on, but Matty, I'm sure Wednesday legend, it would brilliant for you, wouldn't it? Like, do you think, I think he'll get that Rotherham job. He won it last week, Joe, wasn't he? Like, but he's winning. He seems to have a good feel-good factor, but... yeah, do you remember him as a player? Ash, I do. I'm old enough to remember him. He was good, mate.
Yeah, he came through like a youth player at Wednesday. He played quite a few games, but for Rotherham, I don't know. Is it one of those new manager bounce, total new manager into his first job and all that? Plenty of clubs have done that where they've had an ex-player or an ex-coach come in for a few games, done well, and then they've employed him and not done so well. So I'm assuming that Paul Warne will go back probably to Rotherham. But I don't know what Matt thinks to that. I know he has had a lot of success there. I know up and down, but he did get the best out of them, didn't they? On a real budget. I know we're on about not spending much, but Rotherham's is a budget and a half.
Yeah, how is it in League One, Cossie? What's the?
Oh, bloody hell! Well,
Birmingham promoted. Birmingham in the Championship.
Who would have forecasted that? Do you know what? But as Man United have shown year after year. I mean, to be fair, it's probably a bad example. League One's different, but yeah, it's all right having the money, but you've got to spend it wisely. But obviously, they've flown up. But for me, they're it's not a matter of like League One. I think they're going to be expected to chance for playoffs straight away in that as well. And yeah, the only thing in that division, if you look at Reading, who's got honestly, we're on about bad owners. I think theirs is the worst around, although there's competition for it, isn't there? But how are they? 6? Noel Lund has done unbelievable there. That's manager of the season stuff there. I know Birmingham's will probably get it, but they're 6, and like we're not going to get in the top 6 on that as well. And we've chucked quite a bit of money at that as well. And they're, they've struggled like playing players. They might not even have a future or whatever there, but it could be another berry. But yeah. Oh, it's been grim, mate. Tuesday were awful. I honestly, I've put some pictures out of my time. It sounds bad, but not only fans, mate, by the way, but Twitter. But I put a picture, maybe a bit naughty, really, but mate, there were hardly anyone there. It's like they give out these fake crowds, don't they, now? And there's like a stand behind our goal that just don't fill. And but I put a picture like we're there about 6 years ago. I think we played Southampton. Maybe a bad analogy because that was a Saturday game, but it was packed. They were like, honestly, there hadn't anyone there. And I just put Ulster Town in 6 years that he's just like declined so much. And yeah, it was shocking, mate. A lot of chanting against director football. He wasn't even there, and we lost. And you know what's cool though about Wickham? That Richard Coney, he played in the Homeless World Cup 4 years ago, and he's like spearheading there, like parades. We were fantastic. What a story that is! It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, he looked a threat all night, but Wickham. But yeah, Huddersfield in a mess. I watched a video of Kevin Nagel like for 4 weeks ago where he was telling everyone that sacking Michael Duff for the right thing. We'll be playing championship football. And honestly, the guy just needs to keep his mouth shut because everything he's done has been a disaster. And yeah, it looks a spent force. I mean, you're on about there, Ash, about Matt Amshort, Rotherham, obviously ex-player. We got John Worthington, and it was just like being a bit of a club legend for us. But the bounce is just not happened really. We beat Crawley, who were awful. But Charlton give an absolute pasting. Wickham were better than us. The only thing is like in the summer, you've got 6 players who is like going to be out of contract, and this is probably our final chance to get this right. A lot of people are talking about Ipswich when they went down. It took them 2 seasons. They chucked a lot of money, if you remember. But yeah, it's just the people above. I just don't trust to get anything right and that as well. But it is pretty disgraceful that we're not going to get in the playoffs. Really, we're thought of it. I think the players are just not good enough, and yeah, it's such a mess. It's a shame, really, but these can happen. We've seen Sunderland come down and mess Premier League up and stuff like that as well. But and we knew we were not going to be there. But from being there 2019 in that to be like mid-table mediocrity in League One is shit, really, mate. But yeah, there's a lot of people not happy. Obviously, season cards have gone up ridiculous. People saying they're not going to renew. I do think it'll be one of those that you'll still get a few renewing at deadline time, but a lot of people will not. But it's our first venture into foreign ownership. And while I think he's not a bad bloke, it's just I don't think he knows the game. And the people he's surrounded himself with got so much wrong. Signings, managers, we're a bit of a laughing stock, mate, really. I mean, Michael Duff should never have been sacked. We probably wouldn't have got up on him, Joe, but the only thing is he knew what we needed to happen in the summer to get it right and go again in like League One. But now you've got someone else that's going to have to come in, or people above him is going to make decisions on contracts and stuff, and it's crap. And what helping, obviously, you're doing well, and Bradford fans, we haven't played them for about 20 years, but they're piping up and stuff. But you've got to take your medicine, aren't you, mate? This is football, that's why we love it. When we were doing well, it was good to look down. And I think you were championship at that point. It was only 6 years ago, but obviously you've come again. Bradford are coming back. It's how we love it, mate. I think ups and downs, but yeah, it's a bit of a grim one, really, when a lot of your mates saying they're not going to renew and empty seats, booze, and yeah, pretty shit, really, mate. So yeah, nice positive update from me. Next, can we move on? Let's talk about Manchester Derby. That was a fantastic game of football.
I tell you what. I thought obviously there's been a lot of love for him, and I know this is off piste. But I saw a video of saying he doesn't rank within the top 20. But where do you rank Kevin De Bruyne within Premier League midfielders? Is he top 5? Is he top 10? Like where would you put him? Someone said he wouldn't make the top 20, which I thought was absolutely mental, by the way. Anyone?
Top 5 for me, Joe. I think he's fantastic. But you know what? I think Gary Neville will bang on with that. I think some Premier League game now, it's just like the football's really dull. No one plays 2 up front, are they now? Do they? It's like, and there's too much niceties, isn't there, and stuff like that as well. I don't like it when it's like that, and I think people are getting turned off a bit by it. But then we had a good discussion on our podcast about it. But a lot of people saying it's an age thing, mate. You remember the 90s, it was great, and the 90s and what have you. But yeah, but there's not many games now you're watching you're quite excited about. That Manchester Derby, I just think sometimes you get games with nothing riding on it. I know they'll say, it's a derby, how dare you say that? But it's like the old firm of the time. So they're up there, they want to hit, they beat each other. But I think for the neutral, you want it to be like, there's 2 points in it or whatever. A bit like sometimes the Classicals are a bit crap, mate, when there's like 10-point gap and stuff like that. But yeah, that Manchester Derby were awful. And honestly, Man United, they're pinning everything at them, like Europa League tonight if they get past Lyon. But do you see that was a nice thing, wasn't it? Sometimes,
yeah, it was good.
Left field, though, isn't it? Everyone's too nice.
Yeah.
Onana fired back, though, didn't it? Onana fired back at that as well.
Why is Onana spoken after the fact?
Yeah, he put a tweet out as like they're doing that as well. And he basically said, I've won more than he's won or whatever. But pathetic. But then I love the bit when he said about Mourinho. He says I've been coming out of manager for years because Mourinho were in charge when I were there and stuff. So like, yeah, but it's good, isn't it? Because you settle down for these press conferences. Everyone says the same old crap, don't they? And yeah, Matt, but they're going to have to back up tonight. That'll be quite tastable, that. But yeah, it's Premier League is weird. I reckon Van Dijk's going to renew, don't they, now?
Yes,
yeah.
I think the Trent thing isn't even sorted out, is it?
I don't even need to worry about this Premier League talk anyway. So I know you're warming up, Joe, and maybe Hal as well. You two will be warming up with this talk, but I don't need to. But for me, top 5, De Bruyne.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, then, Ash. Who's going up? Who's going up and who's going down from the Championship? Where are you hedging your bets?
I couldn't pick it from 3 of you. Neither of you two and Burnley want it, do they? So it's going to be. And I had a look. I look at the run. I think Sky put in the last 5 games up, and you look at it. Don't everyone looks at it and you look at it. But I'm quite a believer of. I know that the thing is there's no easy games, but you've got to look at teams that have got things to play for, not just things. So you think you might like because the bottom 3 now is quite close. I mean, it's bottom 7. I think there's 6 points between 23rd and 17th, something like that. And you're going to be playing them teams, and I think you look at them going, Oxford. It was a great win, obviously, against Sheffield United. So they've got things they've got to play. They've got to get above relegation. So it's going to be whichever team blinks first. I know Sheffield United, but it's still a couple of points. I can't say. I mean, obviously, I'd love Sheffield United not to get promoted, but then again, I don't like the 2 games. So that's me, though. It's like,
but how will you get your ironing done if they're not in the division?
Don't you worry about that. That's sorted. I've got a routine for that.
The pile would be massive.
Yeah.
Like
you can watch that baller league, Ash. Then you can get your ironing done. What a sack of crap that is, isn't it? I know it's not my age. I know that it's like, what is going on? Is everyone coming out of retirement with bellies bigger than mine? And it's shocking. Like Julian Lescott, mate. Come on.
Don't say that. Our scouting team will be looking at that for signings we do with that skin.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're going to probably say it's looking like it's going to be down to the Burnley Sheffield United game, innit? So. And I'm sure you don't all want it down to one game for the 46 in the league, but it's looking that if it was the last game, now that would be. You're talking about the Manchester United derby. If there was the last game that it was on for automatics or staying in third, then yeah, that'd be a game and a half to watch.
Yeah, it's going to.
Yeah, I think it's going to be down to that, and then whoever probably. I know you said about your mentality, both of you, for your team in the playoffs, but obviously, if you're still needing a result to go into the last couple of games, and you are the one that's 2 or 3 points behind, yeah, it's going to be hard, isn't it?
Definitely. What about you, Cossie? Who do you fancy?
Leeds' home games are big, but I never saw this swing on that as well. Like, you must have been like buzzing though, being back, because like you said, you only got a draw on Saturday, Luton. But I didn't surprise me how well Luton played. That was always going to be a tough game with that. I think there were a mass overreaction, but there always is going to be with your guys on that as well. But that Wilder thing was just odd, wasn't it? When he just like had to go at the fan base, it's kind of disrupted a little bit of a light of an hornet's nest as well. But I still say you'll get up. And I think Burnley will. I think Sheffield United in playoffs and that as well. But I still think they could do it in playoffs. But the thing is, Coventry, I know they were compared with 2 other show guys that combined for the goal ex other show, but I'd still back Sheffield win over them over the 180 minutes. Like, but it is going to be interesting. But I don't see Middlesbrough like being up there, or But it's going to be interesting. But it's good to watch. And this Easter period, obviously next week, in Easter, that's where we're going to get like back-to-back games and stuff like that as well, and get your job done. But isn't it great though that you don't know what's going to happen? Where pretty much Premier League, Southampton going to lose every week, Ipswich going to lose every week.
Leicester broke a record, didn't they, for 8 consecutive losses at home without scoring a goal. No other.
You see how empty seats there, Joe. It takes some guts, mate, because we were there 6 years ago, just losing everything. We got 16 points. They got 10, but they've got 15 Leicester or whatever. But when you know you're going to lose every week, it takes some balls to sit there and to stick it out and that as well. And then they're coming down to get a punishment for Harvard as well, because I fell waiting for them, which makes it a farce that they went up like that. But obviously the manager was a big thing there, Joe, and Dewsbury Hall and all, he were huge, wasn't he, in it all, and without them two, it's absolutely something like a stone. But it's just getting a bit boring now. It's the same teams coming up and down. Obviously, I want to go back, but it's. I don't know. I think there's a problem with it keep happening and stuff. But Brentford will tell you, well, hang on a minute, we're kind of solid now. We're Bournemouth and that, but you've just got to get your recruitment bang on. But it's easier said than done, now, isn't it?
Ipswich spent some money though, didn't they? And they're struggling as well. It's not like they didn't invest some of that money. So it's and they're talking about Delap, 40 million is being sniffed around. So
30 apparently.
30 was it? Apologies, yeah. So they for 30 million. He's scored a few goals. He'll no doubt be snapped up. So
they were saying that Man United were like would have deal at more than Gyökeres, but like it seems mad that to me. But honestly, you go up to Trafford Centre, everyone's got a Man U about watch out because someone might stab me or something. But Man United shirts. It's back in the day, they won everything. It's unbelievable to see how they've declined and that as well. And they don't
I
seem
love
to be.
it.
Yeah, I can't even Cantona, although people say he's lost the plot in his age, but he would having to go and stay when I say the disgrace that Ratcliffe and stuff. It is incredible. It just shows what happens, doesn't it? If you can get it wrong, and like rugby team in Leeds, they were the golden boys like 10 years ago. But once you've kind of lose your purge and then buy bad and stuff, it's hard to get back on it, man.
Football's cyclical, isn't it? It goes in cycles. Just look at Liverpool's dominance and teams before that, and then they didn't win it, and now Liverpool are going to win the league. I think it's glorious. I honestly think it's glorious watching them square.
How do you think Stoke are going to get down this time? Stoke City. I know it's random going from Man U to Stoke, but Stoke, last year they should have gone down. This year they're awful, man. You've got to play them, haven't you?
Stoke are going to go down. Yeah, I mean they've got 44 points, haven't they? And so they'll be a couple of points off the drop, and
2 points. Yeah,
is it 2 points? I don't think Stoke will go down. Actually, if they have actually got the most money, haven't they, in the Championship? But there's all sort of restrictions in the Championship, which Birmingham and Wrexham will find. You can't quite splash the cash like you'd want to with the whole sustainability rules. So it's always tricky for Stoke. And they don't spend well when they do spend what they do spend. And I think that's been a catalogue of errors. I'm sure Stoke fans will say this, with managerial appointments, buying the wrong players, selling some of their best players, losing some of their better players when the contracts have run out, like Tyrese Campbell, just pick him as an example. I think he's done very, very well at Sheffield United. And I actually think their squad is far better than their position. I do think their owner is really, really good. And it's not his fault and her fault that they can't spend that money, but they haven't got the team around them to invest that money wisely. And I'm not a Stoke expert, but I don't think they'll go down just purely because they probably will just have enough. I do think they're better than Cardiff. I do think they're better than Derby, who I said would struggle at the start of the season. Plymouth, they're gone. And I mean, not mathematically, but they are gone. And Luton is the surprise that no one thought would be down there. Who knows? If anyone's going to get out of it, it will be Luton.
Yeah, Joe, did you see John Eustace is being shortlisted for manager of the month?
No, I didn't.
After you absolutely lambasted him about a month ago, and he's got a shortlist for the March. But yeah, bloody hell.
Do you think it's the three that go down? Cardiff, Luton, and Plymouth? Then Cardiff, Luton, Plymouth. Is that where we're at?
I think we're the current three. I'm not looking at the table right now, but the current three. I was looking at it earlier when I was doing my match preview for our Plymouth game. That's the three I think will go down. But I'm not actually that concerned, as you can probably imagine, about the bottom half of the Championship at all. Only the teams we have to play.
Yeah. And which of them are left to play? Because us and Burnley have 3 home games. You have 3 away, don't you, and 2 at home? Is that right, Hal?
Yeah, so we've got Blackburn the very final game, and we talk about if Burnley was the final game, wouldn't that be interesting? Well, we've got their rivals instead. So we've got Plymouth on Saturday. We've got no more 3 o'clock Saturday kickoffs because of woke. We've got Cardiff at home, Burnley away, Stoke, as you mentioned, Cosy away, and then that Blackburn game at home, which I will be watching. I will be watching the final home game with Sheffield United's former owner, and I'm quite excited about that.
Who's that? What's he called?
Kevin McCabe.
Not
no. I saw him at cricket last year.
Prince Abdullah.
Yeah, Kevin McCabe won't have anything to do with me. We've invited him on our channel, and he said no. So I'll go and watch it with Prince Abdullah. That's a coincidence because I happen to be working in the area, and I just messaged on social media and said I'm going to be working in the area. I was like, "Why don't you come watch the game with me?" I was like, "What a nice guy!" So
when you say Prince, is he actually like of royalty?
Yeah, like 17th in line to the Saudi throne.
How can you do a watch along with him? That'll be cool, that mate.
I will ask. We'll even get that on Sheffield United. Yeah. That'll be interesting.
So wait. Hang on, I need more context on this. So
no, don't ask too many questions because I don't know if I'm supposed to broadcast this.
Are you going to a palace?
Yes.
Okay, now go on, Hal.
It'll be wonderful.
You won't be allowed to wear your hat indoors in a palace, mind.
Palace away, go on.
Palace away.
Palace away. Palace away.
Yeah, man.
This is true. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Yeah, this is incredible.
It'll be fun, but also it could be a disaster. Because imagine if we've dropped points going into that game, and actually the season is kind of, we're just waiting for the playoffs. It could be a real damp squib, or it could be such a nerve-wracking game, that we have to win. And then if we don't, imagine that. Like, where do you look? Who do you talk to? Do you just leave? Do you just quietly say, well, I'll get my coat? I mean, it could be very awkward. It's a potentially huge match.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for Easter this time. Like Good Friday, we all play one after other, bang, 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 and then Easter Monday. You've got so then you kick off, and
you're right there, Joe. We're keeping you up.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
What's your Easter egg appeal? Are you doing one this time?
Yes, mate. Yeah, it's going well. Yeah, it's going well. We've we did last Saturday against Hull, and then we've got Saturday against Oxford as well. So yeah, it's going well.
Cosy, you're not going to do your joke for Ash around Easter?
Al, you can have it, mate. I'll give you copyright. I'll give you authorization here.
Yeah, before we started, Cosy said, Ash Wednesday, and then laughed, and we all laughed, and it was a lovely, touching moment.
Yeah, I got a tweet today by Sevilla's English Twitter. I've been saying this joke. This is trouble when you get old. You come out with crap jokes. So they've got. Why is there loads of people queuing for a piss in Sevilla's ground? Do you know? Because they've got Wan Lu. They've got a player called Wan Lu. So he signed a new contract today. So I retweeted back saying, why is there a big queue for toilets at Sevilla? Because they've only got Wan Lu. And I didn't think they'd ever reply, and they've tweeted it back, like saying Richard, and they're laughing and that as well. But yeah,
I like jokes that require a little bit of explanation for them to be funny.
Yeah.
They're my favourite.
Joe, what's going on here?
Sorry, have you? Did you just watch Try Not to Laugh? Laugh.
Yeah, last one laughing because it's LOL, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Last one laughing. That joke at the end from Bob Mortimer about there was a guy behind. It is brilliant. Where he says there's a guy behind the gravestone, and he's walking through the graveyard, and there's a guy knelt down behind the gravestone, and he says "Morning," and he goes, "No, I'm taking a shit."
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good humour.
It was brilliant.
He's a national treasure, and I love him.
Yeah. Slender people fit through gaps. I couldn't.
He gets all that on his social media, doesn't he? He does those songs quite regularly. Yeah, he's brilliant.
Train guy and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you saw this. Talk about Spanish football. I can't believe this.
You're talking about Spanish football. None of us are joining in.
No, I'll tell you. So Valladolid bottom, they're like another Leicester going straight down. A guy got subbed off last week, and he sat next to someone on the bench. And apparently, he must have said, camera focused on him. He must have said something, we're shit or something like that in Spanish. And then the guy says, can't believe, as if you can talk. And he punched him, and they were fighting off bench. They had to get pulled apart. So they've been fined 2 weeks' wages, and they've done this fake thing today where they're all sat down there like a club, like boardroom and that as well, where they're all talking it through and that as well. But I know we had that bat in Leicester back in the day, but I'm surprised that don't happen more often that as well. But
you had it with Oyer as well, didn't you?
Oyer and Dyer, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it is rare, and actually, referees are supposed to book players in game if they fight with their own teammates.
It was mad because that dugout, it does get a long dugout sound. Like two of the lads were just like carrying on watching games. Two of the two were just like throwing punches.
You know what? In a way, I quite like that. It might be a sign that they really care, or one of them cared and the other one seemed like he didn't care. He was sticking up for the teammates. You never know. I mean, it makes things more interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that Declan Rice on coming to the party on a couple of free kicks, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm so happy for him. I love Declan Rice. I think he's quality.
I don't like him in Ireland, or my mate who watches the show now is proper Irishman. He's gone down too well there.
Yeah,
but
not a fan of Grealish, are they either?
No.
Do you know what though? I never I've obviously spoke to Irish people before, and
well, obviously,
he's
never out of Ireland.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah,
but he's not having a kip or getting his head tattooed. He's talking to Irish people.
I think they're not Irish. I know they,
Irish,
but they're
people,
not Irish.
They usually are.
No, but I mean, what my point is,
Rice?
Declan Rice is as Cockney as they come, and Grealish is as brummy as they come. Like they're not Irish lads.
Well, it's been wonderful doing the show with you, lads. Thank you very much. It's been a great season. I wish you all well. We'll catch you next year. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Happy Easter.
It's true, though, Hal.
Hope
Just
you have a
because
lovely
the-
Easter. Hope you get the eggs you wanted.
Well,
If you're spending any time at church with loved ones, God bless.
So what you're saying is if you weren't born in the country that you represent, you can't represent them.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just I get they have
'Cause
heritage.
if the grandparents into it,
so they've got
they
heritage.
choose, yeah.
They have heritage, but ultimately, they are English.
If you'd asked me who was going to say the most controversial thing today, I'd have had my mortgage on Cozzy. But I
don't think it's that controversial.
I'd have remortgaged, actually. I'd have been so confident.
I don't think it's that controversial. Like, it's right.
Next, and the weather tonight, it's going to be like
it's
21
like,
degrees tomorrow.
It's like when they kept asking Evan Ferguson, would you come for England? And he goes, no, I'm Irish. Yeah, but you know what I mean? And he's as Irish as they come. When Grealish and Rice grew up, they didn't support Ireland. They were English. So I don't get the outrage, me, personally.
Has he been watching any German football lately? Or Italian?
Because they went through, obviously, the youth setup. They said they're going to play for Ireland. They went through under, 15, 16, 20, whatever. And then when... Actually, we've progressed really well now, and we're Premier League starters, and we've played that. So we think we can play for a better team.
Yeah, which is true.
I think you'd be pissed. Yeah, but you would be a bit pissed, wouldn't you? As an Irishman going, actually, they thought they were good enough to play for Ireland because they were this level, and then they've got started Premier League and gone, actually, and then whoever said, well, actually, you could start at Euros, you could start at World Cups and progress and have a good chance of, well, not that England have a real good chance. They're going to switch. I think that's why Irish people are a bit pissed.
Yeah.
Cozzy, this is the one time I want you to interrupt.
Well, we're going to ask, serious, you went on that Kieran Maguire thing last week, Joe. What were it like? Was it decent or?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, to be fair, a lot of it goes over my head. I can't profess to know bloody accounts and stuff. It's really difficult.
I don't know.
It's really difficult.
I'm the same, Joe. We had an accountant on. He started talking about amortization.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he lost me. I'm sorry. I'm too thick for this.
Yeah. Luke said to me, he went, have you got any questions, Joe? I went, fuck. Just went,
I was the same. I was like, Hal, have you got anything you want to finish with? I was like, how do you maths? How do you do maths?
We had him on. We had him on our podcast a few years ago when our owner decided to sell 10-year season tickets that didn't actually kick in until the Premier League. So if you were daft enough at the time to buy one, you're still paying zero at the minute. You paid for it, but the 10 years hasn't kicked in because it was from first season in the Premier League, and that just obviously at the minute seems a couple of years off. So people who bought that.
And the rest.
Theoretically haven't paid their 10-year season ticket, hasn't started yet. And that must be 6 years ago. 6-7 years ago. So yeah, we had him on and just confused us all. We all sat there like,
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's
clever lad.
But the fact sign 2025, you need to be an accountant to follow your football club half the time.
Bloody hell. I need an owner that follows accountants. Never mind a fan.
It's true, Joe, isn't it? I mean, I know when you were a bit younger, but none of this, you were never asked, were you, with accounts or anything like that as well? Or, out of possession and, percentage and all that bollocks and stuff like that as well. It's, XG, another thing on that as well. It just one thing. But again, it's like we were about last week with them soccer aim. A few more have surfaced. I don't know if you've seen this week and that as well.
I've seen all. Cozzy, and I am loving him, and I've forgotten how bad it was.
Yeah, I love Joy kept going in his career. I know cancel culture's been all the rage, hasn't it? But it's like, honestly, some of that stuff he's got, the one I saw, I can't repeat on it. It's so bad.
The fact that you can't repeat something that was on daytime Saturday TV nationwide.
Yeah,
because
women's football. Did you see? Because I keep forgetting they had that women's football slot, wasn't that? What, like paint dry and all that? Do you remember that? Yeah, yeah.
I saw that on Twitter actually. Just Sheephead doing that while.
Yeah, and I don't. Ellen Chamber looked like we're going to smash him and that as well. But
The worst ones, man, with the Borough shirts, man. And Richard Keys goes, "Oh, I like that one. Can we see a closer look?"
I know.
How is that okay? Mental.
I know. You look at it now, and no one like. If you'd have complained about that now, they're like, "What are you on about?"
Yeah. Get a grip.
Yeah, but then there's people saying, "Oh, that was a traditional." Watch that. We go to the pub, have 20 pints, and as if anyone did that. There's some absolute bollocks talks in there like that as well. But Stock Saturday and stuff like that as well. But yeah, I think in the days of streaming though, there's a lot to answer for on that. Oh, I saw something funny last week. Huddersfield game, it's so cool. But this Grand National always comes on, doesn't it, at 4:00. So like games about start second half. As usual, no one cares about our games, so they were all in concourse, beers and stuff. But my mate had racing TV on, but it was a minute and a half edit TV that were up there. Brilliant. They were like, go on, everyone, like, go on, that orange horse wins. This one is that orange horse. If you've got that green one, it's got no chance. It's already fallen. And then all of a sudden it fell. And we're like, how do you know that? We're like, he was an absolute spoiler. And it got to a stage where I'd like, Vic, you need to shut up because people are going to punch you here and that as well.
Yeah, walloping you.
Yeah. You see that all the time in the pub now, don't you? Where I know you got BBC One and someone's got it on HD and someone's got it on normal, like, terrestrial. And then there's a goal.
I remember someone doing that in the pub during a penalty shootout. They were slightly ahead.
Oh, no.
England as well. It was nothing worse. You got one person in that corner cheering, one person in that corner cheering. Oh, it was a disaster.
Yeah, you've got to be on the ball, haven't you? If you're watching stuff now and you have to turn your notifications off on that as well, it's like, I'm trying to think some of the worst things. It can save you though, can't it? Because like sometimes you're watching a bad game and you're thinking, if there's a goal, then you'll just get to kind of watch it again. But it's, the
worst thing is like if you get a notification that your team has scored, but you're watching a stream but it hasn't happened yet. You don't even celebrate.
No, you don't. No.
That's why when I do the watch alongs, I turn everything off. I cancel down my WhatsApp. Don't look at the chat because there's nothing worse.
I know you don't look at the chat. I sent you a lovely message when you were doing a watch along recently. I was like, "Oh, he's my mate. He'll read this out. He'll be delighted I'm here."
I can't help because people can't help themselves. They go yellow card, even something banal, and it's like, why?
Didn't even look. My mate Joe, you tell him something very personal and deep in private, and he brings it up after 5 seconds. That's the real Joe. That's the Joe I know. Send him a lovely private message as well. No, I get you, Joe. That's fine. I think your tattoo is lovely. It really suits you.
I was going to ask you that, Joe. What everyone's watching different streams and different stages of the game. How does the kind of a watch along kind of work? Because it's scored and they're like, no, his penalty's already scored. How do people spot it all the time by commenting?
Yeah, but I can't see the chart. I put it on starred chats. I only see certain chats. I can't because it spoils it. It's pointless otherwise.
Yeah. You get some numbers, don't you? Like I was just looking at YouTube, like who's on what, and you were on it, like unbelievable numbers and stuff that you'll get for yours.
I'm quite entertaining, Cossie, when we get playing and.
Mate, everyone keeps, my mates have still got that one of you a few years ago. Honestly, it's really out.
One? The Melier.
Yeah, the Melier one. Yeah. But it's just like It's,
I got my own back though, didn't I? I got my own back. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, I did do. Yeah.
I had fucking gravy down my shirt and I was getting absolutely kicked.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So then when we scored, because
Yorkshire boys love gravy.
You can't see, so I just thought, feck it. And obviously when I've stood up. But
you're always going to have gravy stains. The question is, where are they?
But to be fair, when we beat them, I had a clean shirt and I was going, where is it now? That's your tears. It was brutal because I live in Sunderland, obviously. So then I'm walking around and people are like,
Joe, your hope is going to be your hope. I know you will say, I hope they go up, but they might not, Burnley. And then you're doing Sheffield United watch along and then playoff semis. You'll be there with Sheffield United commentary or something. But then how would you do one for Leeds and Middlesbrough or something? Or not? Or would you know? You'd be too busy. We are with the Prince, won't you? You've been with Prince on beach, like chilling out with each other.
Yeah. With his harem.
Yeah.
Can we not? No, I stopped doing watch-alongs on our channel a while ago, even though just like Joe, self-proclaimed, very entertaining. To be honest, it's just a massive wrench of your time, and I stopped, and I'm sure a few of you can relate to this, I stopped enjoying the games.
What do you say when it's a throw-in or someone's injured? Do you just chat shit or what? What do you do?
Telling me you don't watch him, Cozzy. You're telling me you don't watch him. Oh, you just
watch highlights. I watch highlights, mate. On Match It Day, yeah.
No, genuinely, just commentate. Just commentate.
Cozzy, I really don't think you'd struggle to think of something to say.
No, yeah, exactly.
Mate, I don't know about Easter eggs. Ash is talking serious about raising money, but I still don't know what my go-to Easter eggs. I know we all love Lindt, but I just think Lindt's a bit too posh for me, mate.
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
You don't like Lindt? Have you had a fall? Everyone likes
Lindt. Too highbrow for me. Too highbrow for me.
It's
too for me.
It's different
There's a
flavours.
Lindt fecking at the Oxford Park.
Yeah,
that tattoo.
Get those dogs
the
off.
tattoo, it's giving me ticks.
I had a white cream egg the other day, mate. White cream eggs. Oy. They were always going to come, weren't they? They were decent and all.
I like peanut.
Yeah, when I went back to England, when the derby was on, I saw there was a new Yorkie. Which we haven't. I know we haven't got it in Cyprus. It was like a caramel Yorkie. Have you seen a honeycomb Yorkie or something? Have you seen this?
That sounds good. No.
Well, it was in the south, so it was in that London, and I thought I didn't have any cash on me, and I didn't buy it, but I regretted it for thinking about it every day since. So if anyone's tried one, let me know, because it'll probably be 4 or 5 years before it arrives in Cyprus.
You need your chocolate in fridge. I'm a big fridge disciple. My fridge is full of chocolate. Chocolate's got to be in fridge.
You don't know what you're talking about. No, and I live in a country where it's 30 degrees. You can't put chocolate in the fridge.
Mate, you can't. When you bite into it, goes that little chomp when it comes off. It's just a beautiful feeling, man.
Honeycomb. Is it honeycomb? Right, honeycomb Yorkie. There we go, Ryan. Cheers. It might have been out for ages in England, but I left England 3 years ago.
Yeah. Ash, what's your favourite Yorkie?
Cyprus Delight, that's it.
What's your favourite Yorkie Easter egg?
No, I used to like that biscuit and raisin.
Yeah, same. I like that one. The purple one. Yeah, I like that one.
Easter egg, probably Ferrero Rocher one.
No. Yeah.
Ferrero
I like
Rocher.
buttons because you get a decent bit of buttons in the middle and all, don't you? But it's old school and that, innit? Kit Kat chunkies think they monopolise the place.
Whenever I think of buttons, I think of school dinners and rice pudding or semolina with like 4 chocolate buttons in the middle. Just used to mix
Joe, I
it.
I bet you used to stick. I knew you'd be a mixer, Joe.
Yeah, you strike me as a mixer. He's got that look of a mixer.
Semolina with jam in.
By the way, they don't have a clue about semolina in Cyprus. There's no semolina. I was big into the semolina scene.
Declan Rice.
Semolina's banging, honestly. Do you know what as well? These don't know. A lot of my chat, it blew their mind. You'll all know. Cornflake cake.
Yeah.
I remember them. Yeah.
Amazing. Half at chat were like, what is that? Because we were talking about, like, when I go back to Halifax, I have beef dripping. I was talking about corned beef hash. They're all going, are you eating like war-torn foods? And when you actually look at it, I thought, yeah, I am actually. Yeah. I'm ready for the apocalypse.
Another nickname for you, Ash, isn't there? Corned beef hash.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad, I don't know if it's still done now, but he used to get bread and get all gravy off with bread and stuff. So bits of the plate were clean. Yeah. Did you used to do that, Ash? Yeah.
Still doing now. Still doing now.
Oh, wow. Go on, Dad.
Also, shredded wheat, melted chocolate, make little nests and put a couple of cheap mini eggs in. You can't have
mini eggs. I was going to say that. Yeah.
Cozzy, you were literally describing post-war rationing, and yet earlier you asked us if we remembered Matt Hamshaw, who was playing for Sheffield Wednesday in 2005. You're all over the place with your chronology.
Al, I just wanted to take it away from Joe with all his Irish subscribers. Mate, it's got about 24 subscribers now. All Irish people have disappeared, but we've nearly come up to an hour. We've done well here.
Yeah, we have. We always do.
In our chat, I've just DM'd you a picture of at the minute of my front room with so in our DMs.
Oh, let's have a look. Let's get this shared.
So get it on.
Do you want to tell people about it before we finish?
Yeah, I was going to say, tell us.
Yeah. Cheers. They are. So
co-op. What's that?
Which one's that? Sorry,
that co-op one at bottom. That looks interesting.
Yeah, it's just a bag full of them.
Just a bag. It's a bag. Co-op we're doing Easter eggs.
That bag's banging.
So back quick they are as well. Very quick. So what it is that we as at the podcast we asked for the fans to donate eggs for 2 local charities. So we've got the Sheffield Children's Hospital and Pact Sheffield, which is a Sheffield charity that looks after children with cancer as well. So we just asked fans to come to the games or get them posted out, whatever you want. And they, for every donation they make, they get put into a hat and they can win. It was a shirt last season, but it's £75 in the club shop. So yeah, it's just something that we did. We got 659 eggs last year.
Nice.
So hopefully we'll get more this year. So that's currently.
Actually, there's peppermint aero there. I forgot to mention that. That is definitely in top 3. Peppermint aero, sensational Easter egg.
We're all there like that. That's a great cause. Boom, Costos. I've been salivating over that peppermint aero.
See Malteser, what else? Yeah. Oh man, that's
the fans and I've got a big respect to the club as well for all the shit they've been in the last week. The people working at the club have really helped us out, put stuff on their social media, let us have photos, let us set up a little drop-off area in the car park. So yeah, fantastic. It's cheers, guys. Let me talk about it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, that's great cause. And if you are in and around the Sheffield area, make sure you get in touch. And obviously, if you put a tweet out there, we'll give it a retweet as well for Ash. So buzzing with that, Ash. Before we finish up, let's get some score predictions for our game this weekend. We're beating Preston 2-1. Ash, who have you got on? Are you winning?
We're at home to Sheffield United conquerors Oxford. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 win.
1-0 win. Cossie?
We're at the place where the worst alcohol in Britain is made, Burton, for Carlin. And we're only going to get a draw, which is going to be no good. 1-1.
1-1. There you go. And Hal? Moment of truth away at Plymouth.
Yeah, Plymouth. It's going to be a difficult one. I'm spending the whole day with a bunch of Plymouth fans as well, which is going to be horrendous. But I still think we'll actually nick it. Yeah, that's it. We'll nick it 1-0.
1-0. There you go. If you don't, is it over for Sheffield United?
No. 4 games to go after that.
It's not over yet.
Plenty of twists, plenty of turns.
Yeah, there is.
Lots to happen.
You need Hecky to do you a favour at the weekend, don't you?
With ball, without ball.
Exactly. Big up to Chris James, who became a member. Thank you, Chris. And Daniel Ager says, "Hi, Joe. The chant marching on together is a one city of leaders of champions of sport." Thank you very much for that, Daniel.
Sing it. Well, if you see me on Sky in an hour singing it, feel free to knock my bald head off my shoulders.
Great.
Good luck, Joe, tonight. I know you're tired. Try not to sleep on that side, and you'll be grand.
No, yeah.
Cosy, you've got quite a lot of real estate. Have you ever thought about having a tattoo?
I'm not a big tattoo man, Joe. I used to get them bubbly gum ones as a kid. You know, when you used to put them in your arm and then they wash them off and that. But yeah, no, I just think they don't. But obviously Joe's looks brilliant, but you see some of them other ones and it's just like.
Ozzy, get one like
Kevin Nagel. Get Kevin Nagel on back.
I think you want one like Tupac had Thug Life. I think you should get like Semolina Life.
Yeah, this is jam hot.
Jam hot. Very nice.
That's a brilliant way to end the show with jam hot. That's brilliant. Bye-bye, folks. Bye-bye.
See ya.